everybody, I wanted to film a special video today. I laid out over 1,000 models from various Imperial armies from Warhammer 40k. I would like to thank FNP Wargamers for hosting this video on their YouTube channel. Check out their channel for all the 40k hobby, including battle reports, one of which even has my Sisters of Battle. So before we start, some highlights of this collection. There are 4 Titans, including a Warlord and 3 Warhounds. 2 full companies of Space Marines, 1 Ultramarines, 1 Blood Angels. Over 350 Guardsmen, including 3 dozen pieces of armor and 5 Bane Blades. A lot of special characters, and a lot of cool things from the entirety of the 40k universe. Okay, before we look at the individual armies, I just wanted to say some things about the whole army. Like I said, there's over 1,000 models. These are just the Imperial stuff. Doesn't include non-Imperials or non-40k. So technical numbers, pointed out everything in Battlescribe. I didn't give everything maximum upgrades, just what I saw in the model. I'm not really sure how you would equip them in the game because I haven't even played 8th edition yet. And that came out to 44,246 points. And for those of you who are wondering, the retail price on these models, of course that doesn't include assembly or painting, is $18,653. Alright, let's take a look at everything. Alright, first up we have the flyers for the Elysium drop troopers. These were commissioned for my friend Maxwell. In the back, a Marauder heavy bomber, followed by 2 Thunderbolts, 3 Avenger Strike Fighters, and up here, because it couldn't fit anywhere else, 6 Valkyries. For those of you who are really into history, you might notice that the wing markings on these planes are the Normandy invasion markings from World War II. Next up, we have a Cadian Armored Battle Group. I bought these from Jamie in the UK, who did all the assembly, a lot of the painting, and I just finished up everything. First up, a Bane Blade, one of 5 in this army. I think this is my favorite 40k model. Then we have a Death Strike missile launcher, 2 Mana Cores, Hydra, 2 Wyverns. I think there are 10 Leman Russes in this army, led by Knight Commander Pask, 2 Chimeras, and there is this Colonel who's on foot, 2 Custom Basilisks, and there's another Leman Russ hiding back there. Next up is my Legio Astorum Titan army. In the back, we have 3 Warhound Titans. Huge shout out to Chris Long for putting these together for me. I think I gave him 5 Warhounds in the period of less than 2 months. The other 2 were commissions, and fortunately they're no longer with me. In the middle, we have a Serasis Knight and 6 Imperial Knights, which my brother put together and magnetized for me, so all of the weapons can be switched out. Thank you for that. Moving over, the Sisters of Battle. This was the first army I painted when I got back into 40k last March. There are 6 immolators here. Forgot to put the weapon turrets on them. 3 Exorcists, 30 regular Sisters of Battle with different weapons, and then we have, if it will focus, alright, sorry there, couldn't get the camera to focus, but there's Saint Celestine, there's the old Saint Celestine, there are 2 Canonesses, there are the Gemini Sisters, 3 Penitent Engines, and then 3 Avenger Strike Fighters. I'm not sure if these are sisters models anymore in 8th edition, but still pretty cool models, I think. They are converted from the Dark Angel's Talon on the inside, if you can see it. I did replace the pilots with actual sisters. And finally, the Cerasis Knight Acarion. Next up, we have the biggest model in this army, the Warlord Titan Ignatieff from Legio Astroman. This model was mostly painted by my friend Maxwell. I just finished it up doing some special effects. You might notice that there are no Reaver Titans in this army. There are 2 coming in the mail. Unfortunately, they weren't here in time for this video, as well as 2 more Warlords, which I'm doing as commissions for other people. Moving over, an entire Ultramarines battle company. I went with a shiny candy blue on this army to make them look different from the other Ultramarines armies you would see. Ultramarines do clean their armor multiple times a day, and the fluff describes it as a very shiny looking armor, so really just wanted to do something different. In the back here we have a Land Raider, 8 Rhinos, Razorback, 2 Contemptor Dreadnoughts, then 2 Assault Squads, 2 Devastator Squads, and 6 Tactical Squads. In the front here, we have Reboot Gilliman, squad of Terminators and a Terminator Captain, the Forge World model, a Herald, and then 5 Invictarius Suzerains. And before I forget, there are 5 Sisters of Silence here, armed with Executioner Greatswords. Next up, the army I'm currently working on, the Armageddon Steel Legion. A lot of models in this one. So starting from the back, we have a Shadow Sword, Crassus Armored Assault Transport, 2 Bane Blades. These are the old Forge World resin Bane Blades. They're really heavy. So now for the armor, looks like 2 regular Lehman Russes, 2 Demolisher Russes. I think they have the Hellhammer cannon, not sure what these are called. 3 Vanquishers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Chimeras. We have heavy weapon teams in the back, las cannons, missile launchers, and heavy bolters. So infantry, we have 100 infantry, various weapon loadouts, the cool Darth Vader Sergeant, and finally the command squad. The commander is the only plastic model in this army. He is converted from the Cadian command squad. And the banner is from a Warhammer Fantasy Empire model. Forgot about these guys, but they are 3 armored sentinels with autocannons. Alright, let me switch my light. Alright, next up we have the Adeptus Mechanicus. These are also painted in a candy scheme, this time red instead of blue. First up, the biggest one, the Questor's Knight. I think this one is the Majera. 2 Sidonian Dragoons. 4 Dune Crawlers. These weapons are actually magnetized too. 2 Castellan robots and their Datasmith guy. Let's see, 6 Cataphrone destroyers with heavy grav cannons. And then we have a squad of the Ruststalkers and the Infiltrators. Up in the front here, bunch of infantry, 20 tech thralls, 10 rangers, 10 Vanguard, and then the forge-rolled peltas and hoplites. In the front here, we have a converted tech priestess, the regular tech priest, and Belisarius Call. Oh, and hiding over here is a tech assassin. Also here we have a bunch of tech cultists. These were painted for me by Chris Long. He did all the conversions for them too. Really like those models. Next up are the Catechin jungle fighters. Small army here. In the back we have a Baneblade. Looks like my little tank commander has fallen off. There she is. 2 Leman Russes and 4 Chimeras. I've actually given all of these tanks cool names. The Baneblade is the Mischief. Then we have the Misfire, the Misfortune, Misdemeanor, Mishandle, Mistrust, and the 2 Sentinels, Mistake, and Misdirect. In the front here we have some infantry squads. Another infantry squad right here, led by Iron Hand Straken. If you notice, all of these models have been converted to have auto guns instead of regular las guns. These are made by Neil McCatterfee. I think I'm saying your last name correctly. They're 3D printed. You can buy them from his Shapeways shop. Link in description. He's a really cool guy. And then some sentinels with jungle bases. This army is the only set of models in this whole army that have different bases. See, everything else has the Games Workshop plastic bases, the urban ones, but I did jungle bases for these jungle fighters. Moving over, 2 Valkyries. Try to get them in focus. Inquisition Valkyrie in black, and then a Grey Valkyrie, which was also painted by my friend Maxwell. In front of them, this army is really special to me because I painted this army way back in middle school, probably 10 years ago. They don't look as good as everything else, but still put them here for nostalgia. So you can see I've just added them onto bases to match everyone else. There is a drop pod, a rhino, a predator, tactical squad, and some scouts. Moving on, the Militarum Tempestus Scions, plus an Inquisition Rhino. There are 2 Taroxes, 10 of the oldest stormtroopers. These were actually called Imperial Heavy Troopers. I think these were made back in 2nd edition, before I was born. Next up, we have 20 Tempestus Scions painted with black armor and red fatigues of the Deltic Lions. And they are led by Inquisitor Greyfax. Here's the last big army that we have. This army is an ongoing commission for David A. So far we just have 1 company plus some flyers, but eventually a lot of the first company will be added and a lot of other cool units. So in the back here, 3 Storm Ravens, 6 Rhinos. Haven't put a lot of markings on them because we're waiting for the Forge World transfer sheets. Then 20 Assault Marines, the Death Company. You might notice that these guys don't all have weapons, and that's because all of these special weapons are magnetized. And for the Death Company and Sanguinary Guard, Sorry about that, my memory card was full, but as I was saying, all of the Death Company models have all of the arms and jetpacks magnetized. Then we have 60 tactical marines here in the golden Sanguinary guard. There is a really cool looking Sanguinary priest right here. And 3 dreadnoughts, Furioso, Librarian, and this really cool Caster the Dam conversion. David did this conversion, I just painted him up. Here we have all of the Elysium troopers from the planes that we saw earlier. 3 Meltavet squads and a command squad of 4 more Meltaguns. Sliding over, Death Watch Space Marines from the Overkill set. There is Chaplain Cassius and all of his friends. The Assassins, 4 of the new ones, and 4 of the old metal guys. Lastly, we have a bunch of random Inquisition models. So name characters, or just one. Hector Rex from Fort Roll. There is this old guy, painted this one also in middle school. This is the only model with non-metallic metal in my army. I don't really like the effect, probably just because I'm not very good at it. In the back here we have some various priests, acolytes, dialogists, hospitaller, chirurgeon, some servo skulls, and then some random Space Marine models I painted when I was little. This model right here is actually the first 40k model I have ever painted. I kept him around, just gave him a new base. As you can see, we all have to start somewhere. There is a Blood Raven Terminator there. And then this Black Templar Space Marine was painted for me by AJ, who now runs the Warhammer Fort Worth store. And then a Cherub. Well, that covers all of the painted models. Last but not least, I have some models that are assembled but not painted yet. Here is a Knight Porphyrion, 2 Thantars, some Dreadios, and a Leviathan Dreadnought. These and the Mastodon right here are being painted by Chris T, who's local. Then we have my 70 unpainted Sisters of Battle. I'll get to those ladies really soon. The Vostroyan Firstborn. I think I'm up to about 50 models. I won't start until there's 100 of them. And then finally the Cadian Shock Troopers. I have 100 of these guys, but they wouldn't all fit on this table. The rest of them are in one of these boxes here, which are full of other commission projects. And finally, the last commission I'm working on that is Imperial is a Vulture, Thunderbolt, and another Marauder. Thanks Chris G from Dallas for putting those together for me. So a lot of people who've seen this collection have asked me, well, what do you plan to collect next? What are you working on in the future? So my favorite army of all time are the Imperial Guard. So far the Catechins, the Steel Legion, the Cadians, and the Elysians, which are about to get shipped off to the customer. But I want to add the rest of the regiments, the Def Corps, Valhallans. I have some of the old metal Cadians and Vostroyans, but I do eventually want to get everything. Not Imperial Guard armies. Next up would be a Primaris army of the Red Scorpions, and there's another Primaris army of Blood Angels that are coming up. And then after that, I think I will fill out the Mechanicum units with the 30k models. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video gave you some inspiration to paint your own armies and everything. And if you're interested in getting me to paint something for you, link to my website is in the description, where you can also see still photographs of all these models. I'm still new to filming everything, and I hope the video was bearable.